burpees to do. We get right to it. And down. Let's fix this a little bit. Let's go. Down one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37,
Charles got in his car and plowed through the dust,
38,
his way east. Just getting to Guyman, one county over.
39,
He had his head out the window the whole way, as he had done a year earlier
40,
during Ruth's birth. But this time the sand blinded him. He
41,
wore goggles and a respiratory mask, but they clogged quickly.
42,
Forced to remove them both. Once the car veered off the
43,
road, it tipped, and it seemed like he was going to crash it again.
44,
He decided to drive along the ditch with two wheels below grade
45,
and the other two wheels on the road. It was the only way to move forward
46,
in the haze and be sure of his direction. It was nearly
47,
40 miles they needed. A drive of 2 days moving slowly on
48,
the ditch. He kept going at night with the headlights on.
49,
To drive halfway in the ditch, Charles had to bring up the chain
50,
usually dragged below the car because it picked up too much debris.
51,
Dust-encrusted tumbleweeds. Without the chain, though,
52,
his car had no way to ground the static. What he needed
53,
was a lull between dusters. He got his wish during the
54,
first 100 miles, but midway into his journey, he drove into a duster, and the static
55,
shook his car. He was stranded. He kicked the
56,
coughed up a fistful of gunk, and shook the sand from his hair.
57,
He lubricated his nose with Vaseline and waited for the duster to pass,
58,
imagining his baby girl gasping in the hospital.
59,
Nearly an hour, the black blizzard dissipated and Charles was able to
60,
restart the car. By the time Charles made it to St. Mary's Hospital,
61,
he was covered in dirt, his face black. He went to the
62,
test ward. Hazel was crying. Ruth Nell had died
63,
an hour earlier. She knew by the look on the doctor's face.
64,
He came to her with his hands up. I'm sorry.
65,
He's dead. Back in no man's land, Hazel's
66,
stopped coughing. She had been running a fever for several days.
67,
How's the baby? She asked.
68,
What's Ruth now? Anywhere. Her son had not
69.
Lisa turned away and closed her eyes. She would not see the home
70.
again. Would not see any more of the starving land.
71.
She slipped under layers of quilt and took her last breath,
72.
dying within hours after her youngest great-grandchild fell.
73.
The family decided to stage a double funeral for baby Ruth Nell and the
74.
matriarch. They would hold a ceremony at the church in Boise City. Then
75.
out of town to a family plot for burial on Sunday, April 14th,
76.
1935.
77.
Chapter 16. Black Sunday.
78.
The day began as smooth and light as the inside of an alabaster bowl.
79.
After a siege of black and white, after a monotonous
80.
jungle of grit-filled clouds had menaced people on the high plains for seasons.
81.
The second Sunday in April was an answered prayer.
82.
Sunrise was pink with streaks of turquoise, a theatrical start. The air
83.
was clear. The horizon stretched to infinity once again.
84.
The sky scrubbed. There was no wind.
85.
Infused every gray corner with a spring glow. Nesters
86.
roamed out of their dugouts and shanties. Their two-room frame houses and mud-packed brick adobes, like soldiers after a long battle.
87.
For once, they did not have to put on goggles or
88.
attach sponge masks or lubricate their nostrils before going outside.
89.
They stretched their legs and breathed deep, blinking at the
90.
of a prairie morning. The smell of tomorrow again in the air. The land
91.
around them was tossed about and dusted over, as lifeless as the pockmarked fields of France after
92.
years of trench warfare. Trees were skeletal. Gardens were burned
93.
and limp, electrocuted by static from the spate of recent dusters.
94.
Still, the day had enough promise to remind people why they had
95.
dug into the skin of the southern plains. And some dared to entertain a thought.
96.
Perhaps the worst was over. Where to
97.
start? Windows were unsealed and opened wide. The heavy, dirt-laden sheets removed. Some windows
98.
had been sealed so tightly with the wind-hardened dust that they would not
99.
budge. It was spirit-lifting to actually let clean air and sunshine
100.
inside. Going room to room with a scoop shovel.
All right, there's one. 100. Making a pretty good time. Let's see. Another useless video.
Bedsheets, towels, clothes could be washed and allowed to dry in the sun, and they would smell of the plains on its best day. Outside, the cows would get a good scrubbing and drink.
Another useless video. Another useless comment.
Cows,
Another person
having lost
spending their precious time
their skin raw and chapped,
doing useless things.
chipped by chewing
Man.
sandpaper with every meal, their gums inflamed. Chickens were due a run of the yard, fluffing sand out of their feathers.
Okay.
A horse might get its nostrils cleaned and find a stretch where it could gallop without
Going
sinking
through
up to
ban
its
some
knees
people.
in
Have been having some weirdos in here.
a grand and glorious rabbit drive as the Boise
Been having some straight up loser weirdos in here.
month-long delay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and ban some.
A preacher had warned people they should not club rabbits on the Sabbath, that they would arouse the Lord to anger. But today, the weather was flawless. A chance to kill maybe 50,000 rabbits. And it seemed
All right.
to nesters like the perfect way to vent their frustration.
All right, here we go.
Collision of bad days. 49 dusters in the last 3 months.
Here we go. Next set. 100. Straight through. Here we go. Down.
A musician by trade, sax and clarinet.
1.
Who had bought the Boise City News on a lark a few
2.
years earlier, thought it was time to leave behind
3.
the bonds of this broken earth. He
4.
wanted to fly. The dusters had made him claustrophobic.
5.
To
6.
stretch out, to get above the dead ground and
7.
float in the blue and the sunshine. A
8.
friend had a little single-engine airplane at the edge of town,
9.
next to the dirt strip that served as a runway.
10.
It did not take much much to talk butterball.
11,
For a spin in the clean air. Church
12,
Sunday night. This was Palm Sunday.
13,
Before Easter, the start of the holiest
14,
time on the Christian calendar.
15,
To be in a forgiving mood, or else why would the day be
16,
so wondrous? With weather like this,
17,
no man's land needed only a couple of good rainstorms.
18,
and fields would once again be fertile. Said a minister
19,
in his Sunday sermon in Boise City. But they had
20,
to pray in order for this to happen. Some
21,
who go to church were too embarrassed by how they looked.
22,
Clark, who had just left the hospital in Lamar after a long
23,
bout of dust pneumonia, only had dresses made of sackcloth.
24,
Young and brand names printed on the side. She could
25,
not church in such a thing. The other children would laugh at her.
26,
Baca County, Ike Austin did extra chores around the dugout.
27,
After being cooped up so long in the pocket of home,
28,
Ike had a burst of energy. The dusters
29,
had been thick through February and March that the half section
30,
was unfamiliar. He was 17 now. The young man
31,
itched to get on with life. He wandered about the
32,
20 acres of Austin family ground, trying to find a familiar landmark. The orchard was dead and covered. A dune, perhaps 6 feet high at the top, had formed along the length
33,
of the line. It looked like a wave frozen in place.
34,
Prints in the sand from jackrabbits and heard a sound.
35,
Arrived for the first time this withered spring.
36,
Song. Where would they nest? Maybe find a
37,
corn that had not been dusted. The garden space where the
38,
Austins had grown lettuce, tomatoes, carrots, sweet potatoes, and corn
39,
was under a dirt grave. Implements and
40,
machines were buried. Ike found the tops of cultivator wheels and a horse-drawn buggy used by his late daddy.
41,
He thought of digging them out, but he would need
42,
more help than he could get from his 2 sisters and brother in the dugout. And where had all the topsoil gone? What state
43,
held the Austin farm? In places where dunes had not piled up,
44,
a couple of arrowheads. As he picked at the hardened dirt,
45,
might be an Indian burial ground, laid bare by
46,
he could see the outline of graves. They made him wonder what the Comanche would
47,
do. Rose from the dead and found the buffalo grass gone and the land destroyed.
48,
Using the scoop shovel, Ike cleared away
49,
enough sand to reveal the doors into the fruit cellar. His brother
50,
was inside for baths. With the windows open on a windless day of perfect clarity, everyone in the dugout
51,
could soak without worrying about the water going brown.
52,
Cooled, the bathwater was not wasted. It was used to nurture an elm tree,
53,
just about the only thing still alive on the Austin homestead. The outhouse
54,
roof above the sand, drifts piled 9 feet high.
55,
At least the dugout was not completely buried.
56,
On Roy Beetle's farm a few miles away, the house had been drowned by dust,
57,
and the family forced to flee. Only the shingles of the roof were visible.
58,
After he had cleared a path from the dugout to the outhouse, Ike turned his
59,
attention to Model A, which he called Old Henry. After shorting out in a duster,
60,
he had not been driven for some time. It was all Ike could do
61,
from being buried during the month of March.
62,
Ike took a flat contact file to burn spots on the points of the
63,
distributor. He wore them down enough so that the engine fired.
64,
Now, he had a way to get back to school. Of late,
65,
the difficulty of riding a mule or driving Old Henry
66,
to high school, Ike had been staying all week in the village.
67,
His buddy Tex Aker were boarding with his grandma in Walsh.
68,
Came home only on weekends. For 12 years,
69,
and Tex had been best friends. And the wonder was, he
70,
was still in school. At times, the train passed by, carrying their dreams out of Baca County. It had been
71,
hard to resist. They had to get through just April and May. Then,
72,
be free. Ike picked up Tex and drove over to
73,
her mother's house to give her a to school as well. They all agreed it was the best
74.
day of the year. Shirt sleeve weather, temperature in the 80s.
75.
High school seniors drove with the windows down, the warm air in their faces, the spotless
76.
sky overhead. They talked about getting their gym back and resuming practice.
77.
for play. The Walsh High School gym had been a makeshift hospital for
78.
run by the Red Cross. But with the weather so nice and only the
79.
breeze out of the southwest, Ike, Tex, and Pearl
80.
expressed hope that their gym would become a theater again.
81.
800 miles to the north, people in Bismarck, North Dakota
82.
started calling the Weather Bureau. A high-pressure system had been sitting over the
83.
Dakotas, and it was tussling with a cold front that had barreled down from the Yukon.
84.
With the clash of warm and cold currents, the air turned violent.
85.
Screamed over the grasslands, carrying dust so heavy that
86.
visibility was less than 100 yards. The Dakotas had been pummeled by numerous
87.
blisters during the dirty 30s, but this one was bigger and stronger.
88.
Tremendous load of sand. In 2 hours' time,
89.
temperatures plunged more than 30 degrees, heralding the cold front's advance.
90.
By mid-morning, the wind-blown soil slid down over
91.
South Dakota and was advancing on Nebraska. The Weather Bureau was
92.
filled with questions. What happened to the sunlight? Why is it
93.
so dark? Was this a twister? A series of twisters? Something new and
94.
Where did it come from? What was the forecast? Where was it going? How long would it last?
95.
Will we get enough air? What should we do?
96.
Hide. The weathermen were as confused
97.
as the others. The storm that had moved out of the Dakotas a year
98.
earlier had blanketed New York, Washington, and ships at sea.
99.
Gained strength because it rode the jet stream and its high-level winds to the east. This
200.
was moving south with the cold front, but it was darker by far than anything ever seen before on the prairie. Some people compared it to a wall of muddy water, boiling up and then down on the earth.
Baby monitor.
No air reconnaissance had picked it up. The nearest Weather Bureau measurement plane used in the daily forecast of 1935
Let's see.
was out of Omaha,
Where we at?
1,000 miles east.
17 minutes?
Associated Press
18 minutes? Not too bad.
Robert Geiger was traveling toward no man's land with photographer Harry Eisenhardt on that Sunday morning.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, fat boy. Yeah, man. Fat boys can do burpees too, man. I seen some crazy. The one homie, bro, is fat. And he does like the Superman burpees and everything, man. So, you know, you can still have a reasonable strength and cardio and still have fat on your body. Me, right now, I'm trying to lose 40 pounds. I'm 15 pounds down. So, yeah. Somebody said pushing out, sweating out getting out the high fructose corn syrup. Hey. Yeah, man. What can I say? You know, a lot of the comments, they might seem nasty, but some might seem rude. But a lot of them are true, so I'm not even mad. You know, I'm a little bit chubby. My stomach hits the ground when I do burpees. You know, I try to focus and make sure that it's just my chest, like right here, and my chin that touches the ground when I do push-ups. Just barely tap the ground, but and sometimes I get sloppy and my belly hits the ground. You know, that's where I'm at right now. That's what I'm working with. You can lose at least 50 pounds by not eating pork. Okay. We got an expert right here. We got an expert. Bro, I don't eat pork. Like, if I do have any pork, it'd be like a pork loin. But I really don't eat pork. I eat chicken and beef, rice, carrots, peas, green beans. Even when I wasn't dieting, I really don't eat much pork. Not even religious or anything. It's just because the first time I dieted, I was looking it up, and it says that pork doesn't have a complete amino acid profile, so it's not really
City, Kansas, about 140 miles northeast of
it's not really
Lawrence County.
conducive to like building muscle. So
As the storm hit,
that's why
the reply came a few
you
minutes
know,
later,
even if it's
tapped from the Dodge City Depot.
even if it's cheap, even if it's tasty, I really don't eat pork.
Dodge
But
City went black. The front edge of the
chicken and
duster
beef, man,
rose
and
2,000 feet
rice,
high.
potatoes,
Winds were clocked at
peas, and
65
carrots.
miles an hour. A few minutes earlier,
Yeah.
there had been bright sunshine.
I mean, maybe sometimes I have some pork. I have some sausage. We're about to have a party. We're gonna grill, so I have a little bit, but it's whatever.
Or even see the person sitting next to
Yeah. So I'm doing pretty good on time. I'm gonna smash out these last 100 burpees. I'm 200 down. I'm doing 300 a day for 6 weeks. I'm like halfway through the third week. I already finished week 2. Now I'm working on week 3. My goal is to lose 40 pounds. I'm already 15 pounds down,
as a fear
and
that the end was near. A woman in Kansas
yeah.
later said she thought of killing her child to spare the baby the cruelty of Armageddon. A women
Yeah, I don't. And yeah, I'm not here to.
the duster extended east and west as far as
I'm
the
not here
eye
to
could see.
defend
It was lighter
factory farming or
black at the ground.
anything like that. That's not. I'm not one of the. I'm not gonna.
To recirculate.
I'm not gonna get into that, man. I don't think.
Fresh dirt and then slamming
I don't think any of it's natural. Obviously, none of it's natural. You know. Obviously, the best thing would nutritionally would be for us to like have family farms. You know, we know our animals. You know, that would obviously be the best. Either we have our own animals, we take care of them, and know how they're fed, know that they're treated humanely and responsibly, or we hunt. And you know, I don't live that life, so I can't. It would be hypocritical for me to say that. You know, I support it 100%. That's the dream. That's the goal. You know, to be there one day. But I'm not there now. So I shop at the grocery store, and it is what it is. I got 100 more burpees to knock out. I got things to do, man. I just gotta get these burpees done. All right, this is the third set. 100 straight through. Let's get it. Here we go. And down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, that's 30.
Hey, he touched Tex, and the shock was strong enough to knock it back. He felt
Oh, man.
like a power line, a live wire. Pull over, said Texaker.
Here we go.
Let's make for that house up ahead.
Down.
The Model A quit on him. They got out of the car
31,
Look at the mountain advancing toward them. Black
32,
and boiling. The farmhouse
33,
of the Elmer Coulter family was close by.
34,
Teenagers made a dash for the farm.
35,
Were standing out front, watching the roller advance.
36,
Mrs. Coulter was on her knees, praying.
37,
Hurry, get inside.
38,
The spike on a barbed wire fence was glowing with electricity,
39,
channeling the energy of the storm.
40,
And his friends were a few yards out when the dirt got them. It came quicker than most dusters and was deceptive because
41,
the wind was ahead of it. Not a sound, not a breeze.
42,
And then it was on top of them. They were slammed
43,
to the ground and engulfed by a wall straight up and down. The dust
44,
pervasive and strong, boiling up, twisting.
45,
The noise was ferocious, a clanking, scraping sound.
46,
They could not tell up from down, one side from the other. Without their dust masks,
47,
goggles, and his two schoolmates were blinded and they struggled to breathe.
48,
They crawled forward, clawing at the air, and found the farmhouse door.
49,
Coulters let them in and slammed the door. It was black inside.
50,
Elmer Coulter lit a kerosene lamp, but the weak glow only extended a few
51,
like a flashlight with dying batteries. They sat on the floor
52,
with their heads and mouths. Tex was on one side of Ike and Pearl
50,
and feel their hands, but he could not see
50,
their face.
55,
In Boise City that morning, a double funeral was held at St. Paul's
56.
Methodist Church. Then it was time to bury two wooden caskets.
57,
One holding baby Ruth Nell, and the bigger one with the body of
58,
Hazel was struggling with her feelings of deep grief on
59,
this marvelously beautiful day. God had taken her only child and her grandma
60.
on the same day. The minister's words helped somewhat, but Hazel could not force
61.
her emotions into a tidy place. She had put on a face of dignity, wearing her white gloves,
62,
hugs, and thank yous to all the relatives. The tears came.
63,
She tried not to give in to the despair that owned no man's land.
64,
Packed. More than 200 people, not just the extended Lucas clan that
65.
lived all over the Oklahoma Panhandle, but also much of Boise City. Dear friends,
66,
Faye Folkers, the brightest student Hazel had taught, was there.
67,
She was a senior, same age as I, getting ready to graduate if the
68.
high school stayed open long enough for her to get a diploma. Sunday was her 17th.
69,
After the funeral, she was going out with a friend for a
70,
The funeral procession started for Texoma. A long line of Model A's, Model T's, and pickup trucks, following the hearse
71.
of Grandma Lou, all moving southeast in the embrace of the spring sun.
72,
The wind just a whispery breeze. The
73,
plan was to proceed over a dirt road 40 miles to Texoma
74,
and bury Lou next to her husband, Jimmy. Near the
75.
land they had worked so hard to cultivate. A place where members
76.
of this family became landowners for the first time. Hazel
77.
and Charles stayed behind. They had wanted to bury their baby in Boise City
78,
at the little cemetery at the edge of town. They were part of
79,
more than most. Hazel had ridden horses over
80.
when it still had its grass. She knew most of the families and had taught many of their children. She had fallen in love
81.
with animals at a Boise City track meet. They married in town,
82,
and then moved back, started a business. They had no
83.
intention of leaving, even if no man's land seemed cursed. They wanted
84.
to bury their baby here, but the Boise City cemetery was so drifted. Sand,
85.
crosses, and tombstones of departed pioneers that there was not a decent place to put a body in.
86,
Hazel and Charles decided to bury the body of their baby in
87,
where his family lived, and wait until Monday to go east.
88,
The procession was on the road by 3 p.m. The family estimated it would take 3 hours to
89.
reach Selma, giving them enough time to bury Grandma Lou an hour before sunset.
90.
The hearse carrying the old woman's body, and the line of cars moved slowly.
91.
Intermittently covered by drifts, pockmarked with ruts.
92.
Every car dragged a metal chain to ground the static. And these
93.
chains kicked up dust, so that the Lucas funeral procession looked like a line
94.
of clouds moving along a narrow road. After an hour,
95.
the caravan of grief came to a halt. The drift on the road blocked
96.
their advance. Lucas men with shovels got out and started
97.
still dressed in their best clothes.
98.
In the northern part of no man's land, Joe
99.
was taking advantage of the clear day to try to find some stray cattle.
That's 300.
On the ranch, Joe had learned to break broncos and cajole
Thank you,
sheep
YouTube.
was big enough to get a seat at the ranch dinner table. His
Thank you, everybody watching and supporting.
ground of Oklahoma's far corner. The Mesa
Shout out to the Iron Wolf Pack.
and
Shout out to Burpee Gang.
Colorado.
Shout out to
Riding
GP Life.
horses over the old Santa Fe Trail.
Everybody encouraging each other.
Joe Garza was
Love and
35
respect.
years old this spring.
God bless you all.
In the world.
Peace
His
out.
father had just died in Clayton. Joe worked